I'm currently alone in the Dote's apartment. Actually, why am I vlogging like a caveman? Why am I vlogging like a caveman? We have tools here. I brought my tools with me, the tools of the trade. I brought the tools of the trade with me. I brought the tools of the trade with me. There we go. Now you're far away. Here I am in the Dote's apartment. There's fishes over there. One of the notable features is a guitar over there. Somewhere. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, I have no energy. I have no energy. I was wondering, how is it possible that I have no energy? I'm a human being, just like the rest of us. I'm made of muscles and meat and water and whatever, right? I've had enough sleep. I'm not tired, sleepy tired yet. I shouldn't be. I still have a good few hours before I should normally be sleepy tired. I've eaten enough food, I think. I went for a reasonably long walk earlier, but nothing. I guess there was not. It was a lot of it was uphill, up a very steep hill. But even so, it was quite a while ago. Going on a walk shouldn't deplete all of my energy supplies, even if it, I have enough food. How does that make any sense? What I'm asking you is, like, what's the deal with this? Like, what's the deal with this? How is it possible that a human being in otherwise decent health lacks energy and focus and thought and understanding and veracity and tenacity and virility? How is that possible? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Wrote a blog post. You can go to my blog. If you go to nothankyou.neocities.org and click blog posts, find my new blog post. It's called Postsive for Me, something like that. Stupid name. Should have given it a better name. I can change the name whenever I want. It's my website. It's not like it's published out there and can never be changed. If I come up with a better name, I'll change it. But so far, it's called Postsive for Me, because when I was saving the document in Vim, I was like, what should I call it? It's like postsive. I was like, it's like what postsive means for me. So I said postsive for me. It wasn't actually when I was saving the document in Vim. What happens is I have a template file called blogtemplate.html, which I then copy-paste to write a blog post in. And so I copy-pasted the blog template file and then renamed that. And that's when I was like, I'm writing a blog post about what postsive means to me, so I did that. The blog post isn't really even about that, There's some, it definitely tends in that direction, but I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know what I would say it is. It's kind of all over the place and garbled. Garbled is the word I would use, but I think it has some, it's maybe not the best written thing from a technical standpoint ever, but I think from a ideas standpoint, nothing particularly new in there, but maybe you would like to hear some of it. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah. So I did that. I guess I have been fairly productive today. We walked a long distance, to get a Hess Burger, which is like a proprietary. Okay, here's the thing, right? When we were at Hess Burger, I made arguably the best joke of my entire career. So I got some chips, right? Well, fries, as Americans might call it. Got some fries. And I got some ketchup with the fries. I pull out the ketchup packet. It's not Heinz. It's their own ketchup. It's a Hess Burger branded ketchup. Catsup. Interestingly, ketchup in Estonian is catsup, which is what it used to be in English as well. I find that interesting. Anyway, ketchup, and I bring up the ketchup out of the bag, the paper bag, and I turn to Doltsmite and I say, hey look, they have their own they have their own proprietary ketchup. I'm just sort of saying it out loud, just note, I was expecting Heinz. They have their own proprietary ketchup. And then this is where my enormous intellect comes into play. I open the ketchup and I say, look, now it's open source. Now it's open source because, listen, ketchup is a type of sauce, but also proprietary and open source are two types of licenses for software, right? So when I say they have their own proprietary ketchup, which they do, it's referencing it's open source. It's open source. The source packet is now open. I've been playing Doom, original Doom. Actually, not the original Doom. I've been playing Brutal Doom, but fundamentally the original Doom. Doom's a good game. Obviously, you know that already. But Brutal Doom is better than standard vanilla Doom, in my opinion. Hey, sue me. Has mouse look. Doom with mouse look, one of the best games ever made. Playing Doom. The thing about Doom, right? I've played it before, but I say I've played it before. I've never actually beaten Doom. I've two times on two separate occasions I've gotten through the first Knee Deep in the Dead, like the first episode, I think they call it. And I've just never bothered to keep going after that. But those were both, one time that was in school. There was a website where you could play Doom online, like in browser. So I'd play it in the back of class, and I guess you know what? It doesn't sound realistic. I don't believe they would have a sort of save. I don't remember, right? Like, if that was the case, they would have had to have. There's no way I'm going through all of that in one session at that time in my life when I was only just getting into games and was not particularly good at shooters yet on a school computer. I don't know. So I would assume it would have taken me multiple sessions to beat Knee Deep in the Dead. In which case, there must have been some sort of save system, but it was a public computer. The only way a save system could have worked is if you know what? I don't think I ever did beat it. I think I just imagined that. I think I probably played through a few levels, though. I then did actually beat Knee Deep in the Dead later on my own computer at home. And I was basically thinking about games I could play on my ThinkPad, right? And I was going through in my head, I was like, I wish I could play more like 3D games on my ThinkPad, because obviously I can emulate any like 16 and 8-bit games perfectly fine. But I don't have a controller, right? Because like normally if I wanted to play an older game, I would just boot up Mario 64 or Mario Kart or some other N64 game. Right? But I don't have a controller with me here. And actually I don't have a controller full stop, because my fake GameCube USB controller broke at some point and doesn't work, so I need a new one of those. But anyway, so I was thinking about games I could play, but what games can I play with a keyboard and mouse that are old and will run? Because I was thinking like maybe I can get TF2 to run. I definitely can't play CS:GO. I haven't been able to play CS:GO here, which I'm not too unhappy about. This was part of the understanding. I kind of knew I wouldn't be able to play CS:GO here. Doltsmite has the world's tiniest mouse pad and the world's highest mouse sensitivity, so not really CS:GO optimized. Not that I hope this doesn't come off as me complaining. I am not an addict. I don't mind taking a break from a video game. It's not going to kill me. So I was like, TF2, maybe I can get that to work, but I don't think it will run very well. And also, it's like, I don't know. I'd have to reinstall Steam, and it's kind of a pain, and blah blah blah. Hard drive space. I was thinking, like, I don't know, maybe I could play. I was thinking it, and I was like, oh, you know what would run really well? Because the other thing is, I can run a lot of games. Like, I can play Half-Life 1 on this laptop perfectly fine. The thing that basically got me is, right, like, I don't have my mouse with me. And at the time, I was like, the thing that convinced me to play Doom is Doom has arrow keys to look, right? You don't need a mouse to play it. But it turns out that Doom is much better with a mouse. So I ended up commandeering Smite's mouse for a while just now to play some brutal Doom. Because at first I tried playing it with the ThinkPad clip, and let me tell you, it's actually not as bad as you might think it would be, but my finger started hurting. That was moving the aiming hurt after a while, so I kind of had to stop. And I just commented the mouse. Played through a few levels. I think I'm on the last level of Knee Deep in the Dead, but I'm done for today. I can't really. Doom gets a bit boring after long sessions, in my opinion. I don't. It's not really the sort of thing I would like to just sit down and play for hours and hours and hours. It's sort of short sessions type of deal, short bursts, in my opinion. Doom has its problems. Yeah, it's not a perfect game, but I think I've played a number of like boomer shooters, right? I've played Doom, I've played Unreal, like the single player parts of Unreal. I've played some of Quake 1, but not that much. Obviously, I've played a few multiplayer ones that are inspired by Quake and Unreal Fortress. Unreal Fortress? Did I say Unreal Fortress? Unreal Tournament? Like, yeah, you know all of them. And I've played like Dusk, which I think is really good. Yeah, Dusk is amazing. Dusk, arguably best shotgun in video games. Quite arguably. One of the best shotguns in video games. See, I have no fucking energy. My brain is all in different tatters. Different tatters. But my mind is not in energy focused. It's not energy focused. And I don't want to steal Smite's Ritalin. But, we'll figure it out. Like, I say I don't have energy, but I just don't think it's possible that I don't have energy. How can I not have energy? Like, what is energy, right? This is why I started recording. So what is energy? Like, what is it? What is the feeling of being energized or not energized? It's not really anything. It's some sort of illusion or something, right? It's some sort of weird system in our minds. That's the thing about it, right? Is whether you actually have energy or don't have energy is all an illusion. It's not a real fundamental aspect of your body unless you're literally like starving to death, basically, or incredibly sleep deprived. But even I don't actually think that sleep deprivation has anything to do with energy. I think that's just the illusion, the trick that your body plays on you, because you have to be sedentary to sleep, and so in order to get you to sleep, it tells you have no energy. I know I'm doing a bit of mind-body dualism here, but just you get an instinct, whatever you want to call it. You can conceptualize this however you like, but what I'm saying is when you feel like you lack energy, like if I right now feel like I lack energy, if someone gave me a meth pipe like Joe Biden's son right now, and Joe Biden's son came round and was like, have a hit of this meth pipe, and I couldn't refuse, and I had a hit of his meth pipe, I would get a bunch of energy, right? I would suddenly be highly energized, but nothing fundamentally about the amount of actual biochemical energy in my body system would have changed, right? It's only affecting various neurotransmitters, right? It's not actually changing anything about the fundamental chemical makeup of my body's energy stores, and it's not somehow giving me more, it's not increasing my metabolism or anything like that. Maybe it does, I don't know, but all it's doing is like changing the way my brain command center is telling my conscious brain, you know what I'm saying here, right? You know what I'm getting at? Like what is energy? What does it mean? Like, how does it work to feel tired or lacking energy or energized and excited and stuff like this? Like, what? It doesn't really have any connection to. It seems like something strange is going on here, basically. Something strange is going on here, and I aim to get to the bottom of it. Something strange is going on here, guys, and I aim to get to the bottom of it. Something strange is going on here, guys, and I aim to get to the bottom of it. Something strange is going on here, guys, and I aim to get to the bottom of it. Why do I have no energy? What purpose does this serve? What is myself trying to tell myself? What aspect of this is myself? Where does the self that is tired and the self that is having tiredness afflicted upon it divide? Does that make any sense? These are all questions, and honestly, I aim to get to the bottom of it. So, I just think, I don't know what it means. Maybe you just need to, I don't know. I've heard some people say that when you feel demotivated, that doing things anyway, like forcing yourself to do something, ends up giving you the motivation to do that thing. That at first you have to do without the motivation. You have to just force yourself to do it. And then once you start, after a while, you'll be motivated to continue. Like once you start doing, this is like the trap of depression, right? You get depressed, you don't want to do anything, you want to laze around in bed and whatever, but actually lazing around in bed and whatever is like the worst thing you can do if you're depressed. You need to be getting up and doing stuff, working towards goals and whatever. It's like a weird self-fulfilling prophecy. And maybe this is the situation with like energy levels. Perhaps if I were to, like, I don't feel like, I feel like if I needed to, I don't know, if I needed to walk somewhere right now, I could probably walk somewhere. Like, I don't necessarily feel physically exhausted. I feel like my muscles can do whatever muscles need to do right now. I don't feel the strongest I've ever felt, but I don't feel the weakest either. It's something in my mind that feels lacking in energy, but I don't know what it is. My thoughts seem somewhat abstracted more than usual. Maybe it's just because I'm speaking my internal monologue out loud right now, but I'm not noticing strong verbal aspects to my thought patterns. In fact, I'm not noticing it. I'm kind of freaking out. I'm thinking too recursively. I'm thinking too recursively. Okay, let's get out of that one quick, sharp. Let's get out of that thought loop quick and sharply. You don't want to. You can probably kill yourself with too much thought recursion. You could probably do some real damage. Maybe not. I don't know. Something's different about my thought patterns. That's the thing I've noticed, right? We were trying to get to the bottom of this. We're doing some first-person interrogation into the nature of consciousness, and the first thing I've discovered is, what the experience of being tired or lacking energy is telling me is that there's something different about my thought patterns, right? That's the first thing I've noticed. Are they slower? I can't say they're slower. I think when people say stuff like this, it's not actually a matter of speed. I don't think the speed of thought actually changes. I think it's the nature and patterns of thought that change. but it's more of a helpful metaphor. Like if someone says my thoughts are racing, my thoughts are going really fast, if they're having a panic attack or something, I don't actually think you're having more thoughts per second than you would normally be having in a day. It's more about the nature of the thoughts you're having and how hyper aware you are of them. Right now, I feel maybe almost just the opposite of that. I'm having maybe a normal amount of thoughts at a normal speed, but I'm not particularly. They seem to be kind of background processes, maybe, or I know this is kind of trippy. This is kind of trippy. I can think about my own thoughts, but I can't observe them that directly, and I'm not sure what to do about that. I think it's time to put on my thinking cap. Okay, thinking cap is on. Let's think about this for a second. So the first thing to think about is I may not be lacking in calories or anything like that, but it's possible that this is it's probable, arguably, this is a result of some aspect of my body's homeostasis being out of whack. Perhaps I really didn't get very good quality sleep last night, and I'm just not aware of it. Or perhaps I'm lacking in some sort of micronutrient, which is entirely possible. My diet, while not the worst it's ever been, is also far from the best it's ever been right now. So I may be lacking in some kind of micronutrient. Which micronutrient? That I cannot say. Zinc? Is it zinc? My body won't tell me. Is it zinc? It's always zinc, right? Or not just zinc. What's that other one? Magnesium. Magnesium. I haven't eaten fish in a long time, and it's all red meat. I've eaten a little bit of red meat. Actually, I had a burger today. That's red meat. What am I talking about? Could be magnesium. I think magnesium comes from meat and fish. I don't know. I don't entirely know. I'm thinking I should start taking a multivitamin or something along those lines. I definitely don't eat enough veggies, man. They're just veggies, you know. I actually like them. I'm not actually against the taste of veggies. I just don't end up making them for whatever reason. It's a strange dynamic. We just don't know. There are some look at me. Look at me. There are some things which we just don't know. There are some aspects to which we just don't have the answers. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. I think I'm gonna go watch a Simple Flux video now. Read my blog post.